So you're doing some tooling in here. So what were they making?
So, white fuel stoves. So Scotsman Ice Machine, which this was called Queen's Products back then. Scotsman Ice Makers, like you go to your hotel and get your.
I got you.
So a lot of this stuff was producing stuff like that, but we made like in the 40s and 50s, they made like the white fuel camp stoves.
Sure.
So they did a lot of those kind of things. Everything was, of course, more manual machining, and you can, I mean,
Those are giant lathes, right?
yeah, basically they're like a little bar fed ones, so they're only, producing little trinkets, small pieces.
I got you.
Off the stamp right on the bottom right. But you won't see a whole lot of that style equipment around anymore. We still have some, but for the most part, that's kind of been outdated. Okay, so my name is Carl Eggum. I'm the manufacturing engineering manager at Blue Ridge Incorporated in Albert Lea, Minnesota.
Cool.
So
How many years you been here?
I've been here 22 years this time.
22 years.
Yeah. I worked here in the early 90s as a machinist and then moved to the cities for about 7-8 years. And then I've been back for...
Did you grow up in this area?
Yeah.
So,
just
okay.
outside of town here. So
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah.
The lakes.
It's nice. It's a lot
So the
better.
30,000 people in Albert Lea.
17.
Okay, so that was probably
The
its
county-
heyday.
The county is about 32,000, I think, for the county, but the city limits is around 17 area.
All right. Cool. Now, Carl, you were telling me about these machines.
So this...
They're bar fed?
Yeah, they're little bar feed. I believe they're bar feed ones. Like this whole row, you see the pipes running across.
These
I'm
pipes
not
right
sure
here.
what these were actually making.
Gotcha. But this was in this facility.
This was in this facility. Some of the old pictures that were out of this facility before we bought it. Like
I got you.
Rich bought the building in 1989. We kind of moved in 91. And it's about 285,000 square feet, this building is.
This building's 285,000 square
So
feet.
when you walk in from the front, it looks like it's not that big. But
Right.
It's about 2.5 blocks deep.
Holy cow.
In this building, we have CNC machines, which we have about 50 plus machines, anywhere from 400 millimeter to 1250 millimeter pallet size, and horizontal Citizen Swiss machines, horizontals and vertical mills. Also within this plant, you'll see robotic welding. There's 4 robotic welders here. There's one out at the north side. We also have 2 flat lasers, 10,000 kilowatt and 6,000 kilowatt by Stronix. We also have 3 brake presses.
A lot of fab work then.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of fab. There's, I don't know, we got 10 different manual weld stations. Anywhere from TIG, MIG is kind of the main deals. Do quite a bit of aluminum welding here. Our Hayward facility does a lot of stainless out there.
What are you guys like? What's your best thing that you guys, that's your like your company's known for, like to your customers?
I think in the beginning it was machining. Machining is what drove most of our growth. And CNC probably is the biggest department yet, but fab has taken off
Gotcha.
a lot.
Because it's hard to find good fab shops.
We've been listed in the Fab magazine in the top 100 fab companies.
Okay.
So-
now, customers, you allowed to say who they are, just it's not worth it. I mean,
Medical, we do a lot of medical, a lot of egg, a lot of food processing.
You said egg?
Egg,
Like eggplants for like
no, agriculture.
Oh, ag.
Like
That's your
farm equipment.
Midwest accent's
No.
different than my Midwest accent.
Farm equipment,
gotcha.
components for transmissions and tractors, feeder housings.
I mean, in North Dakota, you got a lot of. Isn't like you got Bobcat? I'm sure you
there's
guys.
there's a John Deere,
John
up
Deere
there, there's a
plants.
Bobcat up there. I think there's a Case IH plant up there.
Who's headquartered in Iowa? Wasn't there a big?
John Deere.
Is it John Deere? They got a lot of fab done
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and we do have, excuse me, wet and powder paint line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we prefer powder, but some customers still need it.
Now, do you have like an oven that you roll it in, roll it out type thing, or do you
It's-
have an overhead conveyor?
It's an overhead crane. It's an 8-stage wash system.
So you're doing big stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our envelope is 5x10
Okay.
feet, and I think I can't remember what the weight is per hook, but over that 5x10, we ran, I know, at least 1,000-pound parts through there.
Oh wow.
So,
That's cool.
then our north facility, we do some work for a forestry company. We weld up some framework for one of their machines.
You do some sprayers. You
Yeah,
do some.
we do spray tubes, all the fittings, the spray tube welding,
Cool.
everything along those
Let's
lines.
take a walk.
So yeah. So what Blue Ridge is, we have a holding company called Innovance. Innovance is over Blue Ridge, Panels Plus, Mass Finishing, and Jorgensen.
It's like the parent company.
Yep. It's just a holding company.
Gotcha.
So most of the Innovance, like HR, is all under Innovance.
I
So
gotcha.
it takes care of all companies, the CEO, CFO, safety, and some of the payroll activity.
And then up front where we walked in, you said that's engineering.
Engineering, so the management's along the left wall. Then it's program managers, project engineers, and then we got tool design because we design and build all our own tools in house.
Gotcha.
And then we also have customer service and planners.
Right here.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So like when I talk about 1250 millimeter horizontal, that's around 84 inches of travel. To give you an idea of the size of machine and the capable parts that it can make. We do have, this is a 5-axis UMC 750. This is a machine that we had purchased.
So this is a welder, right?
Nope, this is a
That's putting parts in?
machining.
Oh, wow.
So basically how this worked out is the company that sells the Haas CNC, they also do the robotics. We kind of came up with the concept and they helped us compile it together. So basically,
So this robot is pulling parts and putting it in.
it's taking the whole fixture with the parts.
Oh,
located
wow.
in. So we're using it as a pallet changer.
I got
So we
you.
had a company, one of the products we did had 3 parts. They needed one of each to make an assembly. So we set it up with 3 stations, RFID tag on the bottom. So when the robot picks it up, takes it over to the side here, reads the RFID tag, tells the machine what pallet's going in, loads its program, and off and running.
I got you.
So
So does a person put the part in each one,
they
though?
load into the fixtures on each one.
But this has an RFID tag that tells that machine
Yeah.
what operation
The
to run.
RFID tag's right in the bottom underneath.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So, and the operator can stand in this station while the robot's picking up out of the other days. We got the stick area scanner, so it kind of block out the areas where you can be when the robot's working.
I noticed you have, there's probably some safety so like they're not in the area where it's moving.
Yep. So,
Look,
as you can see that the stick device on the bottom of the robot there,
Yep.
that has zones programmed where it's scanning.
I
So
got
if the
you.
robot's coming into this station, I can't walk in here, otherwise
I got
it'll stop.
you. It'll shut it down. Well, you probably learned that a couple times.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
We just got the standard lathes here. It's a 630 millimeter GMG Marty, 630 millimeter pallet. We also have, now what we got is FMS systems, but I'll step up here a little further. So what these are on both sides, you got a 630 millimeter and a 500 millimeter. 2 machines, 20 pallets, 2 machines, 34 pallets. And all these systems work. It's an FMS system, flexible manufacturing system. So the operators stay here. There's a vehicle that picks up the pallets from where they're at, takes them to the machine, or
Up
puts
on
them
the
back on
back?
the rack as needed.
Wow.
So you can run, one guy can run 2 machines. We try to keep our cycle times in that 15 to 20 minute time. Gives the operator time to unload, reload, deburr, and inspect.
I got you.
So it's
Very cool.
It helps out when you're having problems getting manpower at times, which sometimes we do. It all depends on the market trends.
Yeah.
Now these are what I call the citizens. They're a Swiss style machine. Run 12-foot bar feeders up to 1.25 inch diameter. They run a straight oil. There's no water in it, cutting fluid on these. 2,000 psi is our pressure.
Through the tool.
Yep, and that's for breaking the chip more than anything else.
No
Because
kidding.
you get long stringy chips, you need to break that chip. But we run a lot of stuff for one of our medical companies on these.
You guys do titanium or anything like
We
that?
have, but not too often.
I got you.
It's kind of whatever the customers bring through the door. to
Sure.
us. 6-foot bar feeder, Tucson 2100, live tooling, sub spindle, Y-axis. These are Mazak VTL.
You got a lot of machining centers. How many machining centers?
CNC itself has about 49, but then we have other ones located throughout the plant that are more dedicated to a certain product.
So you're not
I would
moving
say-
parts as much. It's closer to where the
Right.
work is.
So I would say Blue Ridge as a whole, we're probably in that 60 plus pieces of equipment.
Gotcha.
CNC is getting close to 50. We got a couple in assembly there. We got a couple in the fill room. So VTL stands for vertical turning lathe. So this has 28-inch chuck, do up 32-inch diameter, about 18 inches long.
Wow.
So these
That's- so
this
the
is a
round
hybrid
piece.
housing that we do it for a customer. This one actually has 11 operations. Starts at vertical mill, goes back to welding, gets welded up. There's a water jacket in there.
So this would be a housing where you would either have like a motor on one end or...
Motor goes inside it.
Okay. Looks like a hub.
So this machine here, as you look inside here, you can see raw casting and finished goods.
Yep.
So there's 2-axis gantry loader that comes down through the center.
I got you.
It can have one on each side. So it puts one raw one in the machine.
Sure.
It'll pick the finished one up off the other side. So it's got 2 main spindles. It'll turn apart, transfer the next spindle, and then just keep rolling.
Wow.
So
So the
You can have two
castings.
sides. You can have two sides loaded up on it, where you can have a pallet on this side, a pallet on this side to keep the robot pumping. We also, so the operator really never opens the doors on the machine unless you have change inserts.
I got you.
There's an inspection station halfway between where if you want every fifth one going to inspection, they get dropped there.
This is a raw cast.
Yep. These go inside the transmission of a tractor.
Oh, that's a big piece there, buddy. Is this a? So it is cast. It's not.
It's ductile iron.
I got you. It's actually lighter than it looks. That's pretty heavy.
I think they're like 18, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
This is another FMS system with 3 machines and 34 pallets on it.
Sure.
We've had, this cell was brand new in 2001, but we've also rebuilt it now, and we've took that original equipment out, put new equipment on, and just kept the rail.
So this is the cell. Look at that
the vehicle.
thing.
So the other ones are 2 levels. This is just a single level.
I got you. Is this putting it into the machining center?
This is, right now, he's just dropping it at the work set station so the operator can unload and unload it.
I got you.
And then once he hits the button on the side here, the vehicle will come and get it. And you can set priority to which pallets are priority. So
gotcha.
If you need to have pallet 1 run first over everything, it'll make it priority. It'll take that one first whenever it's available.
Are most of your customers domestic, or are you shipping a lot of stuff out of the country?
Most domestic.
Yes.
We do ship overseas.
I got you. But like when you say transmission in a tractor, that's an American-made tractor. Yeah. I got you.
Yep.
How many shops like this are supporting companies that make tractors and ag equipment?
You know, in the Midwest here, I just right offhand, like within a 100-mile radius of us, probably 4 or 5.
I got you. A lot of jobs created by ag.
In this plant, we're around 300 employees.
So what percentage do you think your business is supporting ag?
I think it's around 18% right now.
Oh, really? So you're outside ag too?
Yep. We have a pretty good, with the medical, food industry, and ag, we have a pretty good balance to where when one is dropping off, the other ones are staying.
It's like a mutual fund. Your risk is spread out.
Yep. So then down this row, excuse me, these are all Haas vertical mills. The first 2 are VF9s, so they're 84 inches in X, 40 inches Y, 30 inches in Z. And then we got 2 VF5 and a VF6 down in the end, all with fourth axis capabilities.
Cool. 280,000 square feet?
Yeah, it might be a little north at 289, I think it is.
Jeez.
So a couple more 400 millimeter horizontals and longs.
That's like 8 acres of building.
I think it's 7.5.
Is it? Yeah. Wow.
So these here are an ice auger.
So this is for ice.
Yep. So
this is what built the company, really, was the Scotsman Ice Maker.
Company we're making here.
I got you.
We've been making these since 1978. Blue Ridge started in 1972. So how this starts is on this machine over here. It starts out as just a solid plank. It gets the ends turned, where it gets loaded in the main spindle, transferred to the second spindle, then vacuum extracted out the vacuum machine.
Starts as a bar stock,
yep,
right?
Solid piece of bar. Comes out of there, comes over to the mill here, and this is the finished product off the mill.
Is this stainless?
Yeah.
I got you.
430F. So this comes right out of the mill, just like this. With our surface finish, like when I first started working here in the early 90s, we had to polish these. Now with the cutting tool advances and machine advances, you're getting it right out of the box.
Do you guys measure that finish like a?
Yep, it's got to be under 20.
Like a durometer, like RA meeting?
A profilometer.
Okay. Wow.
So kind of the cone recycling area down at the end. We're kind of in the middle of rebuilding some of our stuff on our recycler, so it's a little disarray right now. So CNC, we have a full-time manufacturing engineer, 2 full-time programmers, 3 full-time techs. There's 4 full-time inspectors. And then we also have our quality engineering group.
That's in this office?
This is just the programmers and techs.
Okay.
And the ME.
Dang.
And that's our tool crib there. Quality offices are on the other side of this.
I got you.
Now you're getting into our largest machines. This is a Maybach 12800, so 1250 millimeter. You can kind of see inside the door there how big the envelope is.
They're huge.
There.
Dang. How you doing?
So you can kind of see when you get over here, give you a little better idea by the size of the fixtures of how big a part you can make.
Wow.
So basically the size of that fixture is what we can machine inside this machine.
I got you.
So just kind of give you a ballpark idea.
That's
a 1250 millimeter machine. The next one here is a 1000 millimeter.
I mean, that's probably 5 foot.
Yeah, it's 84 inches X, 71 in Y, I believe.
Gotcha.
65 in Z. I can't remember exact numbers, but pretty close.
Gotcha. Huh.
So then with big machines, big CMMs. So this is the CMM coordinate measure machine. With the machines that we have on here, of course, you need to be able to inspect the parts of that size. I believe this was the first one of this generation in the U.S. I think there's 2 or 3 other ones in the U.S. now. The granite itself, I think, is around that 40,000 pounds.
That's all granite.
Yeah, and it's all on air ride suspension. When it got moved into here, we had to let it acclimate to the room for, I think, 14 days before we could calibrate it.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
That little sensor on there goes around and touches the parts, right?
Yep.
Just to make sure it's in all the dimensions. Yeah, those are not cheap things there.
Everything adds up.
It's nice.
This machine's about 6 years old now. There's about 3 foot of concrete underneath them. We poured foundations for them.
Yeah.
This one we actually built the platform, so all the parts get delivered on the platform, so they operate not going up and down. We kind of restricted on that one, and we had to do more of a staircase. The guys like this one better.
Yeah, there's a lot of workspace. That is a nice platform there.
This is our newest FMS system, our 4th one. So this is Mazak 500 millimeter. It's 32 pallets. Basically same concept as the Makino ones out at the north end.
You guys have a lot of Mazaks.
We've gotten a lot more Mazaks in the last 5 to 7 years.
Gotcha.
But years ago, this used to be a Moritsuki shop, 100%. And it's just kind of transitioned to whatever works for us.
Technology changes too.
Now, this is kind of getting towards the south end of the building.
Sure.
This is receiving, so shipping it at the other end. We try to keep the flow through the building from south end to north.
You guys ever need any laser cutting, or like, do you do tube laser?
Yeah.
Oh, you do it yourself.
Tube laser right here. We also have another tube laser at the north plant, but that'll go up to a 24 foot by, I think it's 6 by 6 or 6 by 8 size. We do some production sawing here, but for the most part, when you start getting into the bigger, heavier stuff, we have it brought in just because of overhead hoist capacity and stuff like that.
So you'll do the lighter weight tubes.
Yep.
Gotcha.
We got 3 CNC brake presses up to 175 ton. The smallest is a 90 ton.
Wow.
And we're getting a little walk. We'll go back to the flat lasers.
Get your sheet stocked in from a service center and then cut it.
Yep. We do up to 5 by 10 sheets.
Okay. Oh, I've been looking at one of those.
ACV.
Does that have the extending forks? Or
Yep.
It does?
So we use that for unloading and loading a lot of our stuff in the winter.
You guys like this, don't they?
What's that?
They like it, don't they?
Yep.
So it'll actually extend the forks too.
Yep. Extend the whole arm out. I think it'll extend out like 10 feet.
I know.
Like
I was like, man, that would actually take the place of a, like a, what do you call those things? A telehandler to a certain extent. Not very tall, but.
This is our flat laser area. Machine on the left is a 10,000 kilowatt. Machine on the right is a 6K.
Okay.
When we bought the 10K, we thought about adding it on because you can see the stacker system in the back.
Yep.
We were going to add the 10K onto it, but we were kind of a little nervous if we ever lost the material handler. Then both lasers are down. So we decided to keep the one on the side here as itself, and that'll have 3 stages prepped and loaded. So
I got you. So can it cut at night when no one's here?
Yes.
So you can load it up, and it'll actually feed the material
You get to a certain limit because you gotta have somebody out there taking skeletons apart.
Gotcha.
But like on
What are you calling a skeleton? Like the basic
leftover material
Gotcha.
from the part. You
All
can
the
get away,
waste material.
Yep, you can get away with that a little bit more with this one. With the stacker cable going up to the ceiling up there, you can have that dropped on there and delivered out to that. So then you can bring that back later and
that probably adds up quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you do your best to use as much of the material as possible.
Yes. We have a full-time programmer, and he does all the nesting and everything. Morning, guys.
Skeletons.
Now, first, sticking the material slower cut. You can kind of see inside here if you want to look.
Oh yeah.
Rapids on these things are unbelievable.
I mean, this is making what's on the screen here.
Yep. So that's all the parts that are nested on the sheet. So this is your waste area, wherever you see that lighter color.
I got you. Try to get as much as you can.
Yep.
Sometimes it probably makes sense to put certain parts in. Look at that. It's all cut.
That looks like we're cutting 1/2 inch there.
That is pretty
When you get
thick.
this down to like 1/4 inch thick or a little less, this thing will be about 3/4 inches a minute for it just screaming through it.
Now, when you pull the skeleton off, are the parts still there? Or does it come
You
off?
sometimes got to knock them. I mean, there might be a little
like a
nibble, you might say.
perforation?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this whole sheet will go out, get dropped down, and then comes out.
I got you. So this is the route it takes, really. It comes around and,
Yep.
you know, keeps following a route. Interesting. So this might be the spot you might have to pop it out.
Right.
That's very cool. Yeah, these Bystronics or something. That's cool. I'm glad that glass, I couldn't look at it otherwise.
You can, but it's not as bad as the welding flash, but yeah, you can watch on this. This is a 6,000 kilowatt, but you cut a little thinner.
I got you.
You kind of see the rapid speeds on them.
Holy cow. It's making this.
Cool.
Where do all them little pieces go? They fall inside?
Some of them will fall down through. A lot of times try to keep them connected so they come out on the table like this here.
I got you.
Then you can take the skeletons apart here.
I got you. Is there a conveyor under there? Or?
There's a conveyor.
Okay, it's taking it out.
Yep.
You know, I'm always thinking about the guy that's got to clean this stuff.
What's that?
Said I'm always thinking about like the guy who's got to clean this stuff out.
Oh yeah. So you can feel the surface finish on them. That's 1/2 inch plate steel.
Little weld smut.
So the thicker the material, the more.
What is this? It's called laser smut, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't
It's
think
carbon and.
Yeah. But the thicker the material you get, the more you look like a handheld torch cut. We can cut up to 1.25 on these. We usually don't. Usually we'll get like burnouts if we do that. We kind of stay in that 3/4 or less.
Is this like a weldment that'll go into an assembly?
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, like this is slot and tab. So the mating piece that will lock into here. So I try to keep our fixturing down as much as possible, and it self-locks.
I got you.
We'll go through the robotic welding now.
The place is massive. It's a big place.
So basically every outer wall you see like this wall ahead of you was an outside wall at one point.
Yeah.
I've got a director set building.
I've got a building.
Original part was built like 1941, 42, something like that.
World War II era.
Yep.
I have a building it's an old GE factory. It's 40,000 square feet. And I have additions upon additions.
Yep.
It always bothered me that they painted the old red brick.
Yeah.
I love that red brick from, you know.
This is all fab welding now. We got robotic welders. We got aluminum welding here. We'll get up to some of these robotic welders. On the other side, the left side here is all manual welding stations all the way down.
I got you.
So we got three different robot weld cells here. Like this one here, for instance, is it got a trunnion. It's two-sided, so it'll rotate the whole thing 180 degrees. So this guy can be loading and pre-tacking on this side while the robot's welding on the other.
That's cool.
So two of our stations are like that.
So
the third station is the
they
one
can
side.
weld, and then while one side's getting staged, they can spin it all the way around. That's interesting. So the robot will weld while he's staging the next one.
Correct.
And it's symmetrical, so it'll just turn.
Yep.
That's cool. Huh.
So the next one here is the same. Excuse me. This is the same as that previous one. This is a one-sided one. Just a little bit bigger capacity. So we only do the one side with the trunnion.
I got you.
Out at the North facility, we have a robot that's about probably twice the size of that. We also have a larger one on the south end down here. We'll kind of step in the back side here, and you can kind of see the chain line coming through. It's a little bit loud in here, so. That's our 8-stage wash system start. Parts run down through the center. It's got wash, rinse, everything in there. Goes through that's your curing oven. So after the parts come out to the paint, powder paint, it runs through there through the curing oven up to I think around 500 degrees is their max heat. Most paints around that 430.
I got you.
Then there's a cooling station. So I can't remember if it's 380 feet as the length of the chain here, so a little over 100 yards.
I got you.
So basically everything gets loaded on the outside here. Everything gets loaded towards this end of the line through that door, gets taken off at the other end.
Care if I walk the washer a little bit? This is an area I'm pretty knowledgeable.
Okay. Good, then you probably know more than me on it.
Yeah, I know a little bit. So, this is
It's coming in this way.
yeah, so this is laser.
Yep.
Rinse. Let's see what you got in here, dude boy. Rinse. Oh, this is a big washer, buddy. That's all turd, huh? This is a big washer. 8 stages.
Yep.
Reverse osmosis, that's good.
Our supplier we buy a lot of chemicals from.
Yep.
He does a lot of monitoring on it himself.
Gotcha.
Plus our internal maintenance group.
Yeah, I see there's some controls. This is a big wash system. Rinse. How about it? Probably a sealer. Very cool. And this is all the chemistry
Yep.
for this. They're probably dosing it in somewhere.
Yep.
Very cool. So when it comes out the other end, it'll go into a dry-off oven and then to paint booths. So, yeah, this is something I'm pretty good at. Big permeate
We use
tank.
RO water we use RO water on our coolant when we mix our
Oh,
coolant
really?
too. So this is kind of the main holding tank pumped over there.
So you even use this in all the machining centers?
Yep.
That's
Helps
very
keep your
good.
foaming down.
Yeah, plus your coolant will last longer
Yep.
from all the water hardness. Yeah, this is a pretty good sized paint line. Look at
This
this.
was put in about 12 years ago.
Okay,
We had a previous one in here before that was kind of grandfathered in.
I
with all
got you.
EP rolls, and well, it got to the point we just needed to move on.
I got you.
So you saw receiving at the other end. This is shipping. So this got added on in 2010.
Oh, this is a new building.
Yeah. So this is the newest part of the company, the newest plant. So basically everything when it gets delivered after Op 99 on the floor, it has delivered to shipping up here. It's usually pre-packed before it gets there. Some things do have to get packed up here. But for the most part, it's staging. Right now, it's pretty empty with the holiday season because they're kind of cleaning out towards the end of the year, getting everything out of here we can.
I got you.
But this has been huge. Before we had this, there's a lot of staging areas around the plant where the forklift drivers had to come get the stuff.
I got you.
So there's a lot more miles on forklifts back then.
So when you started, was it the same ownership as there is today?
We're 100% employee owned.
That's awesome. You're
So
east
the
side.
previous owners, which was Louis Larson and Richard Ackland, Lou Rich, when they retired, they wanted to get back to the employees.
That's awesome.
So this is similar.
So this is the tool room.
Yep, standard bridge boards, standard lathes. We've started investing a little bit more. We've got some track CNC machines, which has helped tremendously.
Gotcha.
Got the big old Union. We got a track VC12 and a track VC7. So basically, these track mills are programmed right on the floor, and they're quick, easy to control. And the amount of work these guys kick out compared to doing the old Bridgeport way is amazing. Morning, Tom. Morning. So now you can see Joe can act like he knows what he's doing.
Look at this. He does work.
Every now and
He
again.
does work. So you're doing some tooling in here.
Yep. Making some pictures, doing a little chain.
Very cool.
Once you get out on the floor, you see things a little different, and we just accommodate them.
So let me do an inspection here. It's a little messy on over this drawer, or on this toolbox. I see some papers just kind of spread everywhere.
There's a lot going on there. There might even be some maple syrup stuff
I see
going on here.
I see that. Look at this. But your tools are all... I noticed that nothing's missing.
Yeah.
If you were to look at my tool set, like, the most common one's gone. It's just the way it is, I guess.
Yeah, you got to have your tools at your fingertips.
Cool. Awesome. Well, this is good. This has been
I
cool.
was going to show him one more thing in the front office, and then I'm done with them.
Thanks, Carl.
Unless he's got questions or...
I can go grab lunch if you got stuff to do.
No, come back and get me. We'll go together.
All right.
Okay, I'll
Sounds
take him
good.
up front and we'll bring him back.
Thanks.
Sure.
Yep. So this is more of a present day picture here. This was the previous company that owned this. They found this in their archives and they sent it to us.
That's cool.
So we're figuring it's late 40s, early 50s, depending on when you look at the cars.
Right.
So, and right now, as you can see, like our shipping receiving area is here. All these houses are gone. This is all CNC comes right along here. Oh, so that was there. The flat lasers were here.
Yeah, you can see
We've
that.
added on all
Look
this
at
back
this. Is here.
Yep.
Wow.
See, and back then, train cars actually backed into the building and loaded product.
Gotcha.
So there's actually train rails below some of our concrete.
That's
out
cool.
here. So
So there's still some houses.
yeah,
They
yep.
probably bought them all.
We're buying them up as they come
Yeah.
about because there was 2 houses here 7 years ago that we tore
Parking.
down for more parking. So the history of Blue Ridge overall started in 1972 with Louis Larson and Richard Acklin. They were both 2 of that guys for John Deere, and they decided they saw the owners driving nice cars. They wanted to have that opportunity, so they moved back to the Hayward, which is 7 miles east of here, and started their own facility. The first couple of years were pretty tough because they were actually building silos. They were doing whatever to make ends meet, and it's hard to see, but we got a couple of murals up here we can walk down. I'll show you.
Very cool.
So you see the murals up there.
That is
So
cool.
that's Louis Larson on the left, Richard Acklin on the right. That's the first original Blue Ridge building on the left.
Very cool.
So we still own a facility out in Hayward. There's about 95,000 square feet in that building out there. And that part of that building is still part of it.
I like what they did. They put it right in the windows.
Yeah. So, this is all high vaulted ceilings before we did the office
Sure.
remodel. It was low. So
That's
we
cool.
vaulted everything out, added in some natural lights. So the lights come
love
on and
this.
off automatically depending on how much light's coming in from the windows.
Yeah, this is very cool.
That was kind of one of the older signs that we just kind of had refurbished.
That's cool.
We got the lyrics receiving one that was hand painted by one of the owner's daughters.
Yeah, I like the conference room too.
I got to show you a table. Along with trying to keep the front office a little more construction type, we designed our own custom tables.
That's awesome.
The one in the previous room has more of a cow catcher in the front of a train underneath for the base. But they moved in before these windows got put here because they're heavy.
Oh, I bet.
So I welded them all up and just did like a clear lacquer on here.
This is cool, man. I love this. This looks like hickory too. Yeah, this is cool.
So Lee Galbraith's the GM. He designed these 7, 8 years ago. He designed them.
Man, they look great.
They worked out nice. They're nice tables.
Yeah, they are.
They ain't gonna go anywhere.
No,
Let's see if we can see
they'll be
this
here.
one.
They'll be here a while.
Yeah, you can kind of see the base underneath that one too.
Oh, dude. Right, like the front of a train.
And if you look in the center, of course, we got the Lurish logo in the center down there.
That is cool. This has been awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Some of our old signs.
Oh, I
that
gotta
we've
see that.
Transitioned through the years.
Yeah. So you got the Morsiki here. I see it.
Yeah. So that was the original plant. That's what it looked like when I worked out there. in the early 90s.
Just over the years, huh?
Yeah. So we've grown to be about an $80 million company.
Wow.
With all the sister companies, we're around 125 million.
Here, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
This has been awesome. I appreciate
Good to
it.
meet you.
You too.